right now the Utah Jazz are the number one team in the Western Conference. The number one question I have for y'all fellas is, are the Jazz the best team in the West? Raldo, why don't you lead us off, pretty boy?
By record, yes, they're the best team in the West. But in reality, no, they're not. A healthy Lakers team, the Jazz ain't got none on them. There's still a bunch of young pups down there, and I can't see him being the Lakers in the best of seven.
Okay. So, I mean, it didn't. I'm not talking about who's going to be the best team in the West in April, but that's a fair answer. That's a respectable answer. Rome, what do you think, man?
I was actually having this conversation the other day, man, with a couple of homies, man. So it's all fun and games in the West, but what happens when Bron puts his foot down? Like the Jazz look good right now, but what really happens when LeBron puts his foot down? So, I mean, if you're asking right now, are the Jazz the best team? I'd probably still say no. But when Bron puts his foot down, it's definitely going to be a no. So it's a fun question now, but come playoff time, it's going to be clear-cut the Lakers.
Bryce, tell me that the Jazz are the best team in the West. Otherwise, I'm about to get angry.
The Jazz are the best team in the West. I mean, I agree with I agree with what Gerardo was saying. A healthy Lakers team is better than the Jazz. But the Lakers are far from being healthy right now. Anthony Davis is out for the foreseeable future. So at the end of the day, we got to give it to the Jazz right now. I mean, what are they like? They're on a crazy streak right now. I think they've won like 19 of their last 20 games. They got 6 guys that are scoring in double figures. 4 of those guys are scoring in the teens. It's real team basketball. We finally bringing back team basketball. I remember when I was growing up, I was a young pup watching NBA. It was a team called the Detroit Pistons. They didn't have any of the biggest superstars on their team, but they had Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, and Tayshaun Prince. And together, they made a hell of a team. And that's what I'm saying from the Jazz right now. The sum of their parts makes their whole large. It's not about one guy doing the most. You got the defensive anchor, Rudy Gobert. You got your go-to scorer and Donovan Mitchell. You got your hot box, get hot in a quick second, and Bojan Bogdanovic. You got your steady guy, veteran, and Mike Conley. I mean, they've got a lot of pieces to the puzzle that make a good team. We'll see how long it can be sustained. But in the regular season, they're one of those teams that are definitely going to make noise. Playoffs, yet to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see what happens in the playoffs. But I think you make some good points, Bryce, especially with the depth of the team. A couple names you didn't mention, man. I'm surprised you didn't mention. Guys like Joe Ingles, man, are extremely underrated, bro. Get big-time buckets. And then you got Jordan Clarkson, who's actually currently leading all bench players in six-man production. So he's the leading scorer off the bench this season for all teams. Pretty solid piece to have. They actually just played the Sixers last night. Lost some money on that game. I thought Embiid was going to play, but that's a whole nother conversation. Now, Ben Simmons did have 46 points. That's not on the slate, but does anyone care to comment on that?
I thought it was 42, but I guess you gave him an extra 4 points.
4 points.
I remember it being 42, but I mean, I guess if he turned it into 46, maybe I'm wrong.
He's rounding up.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to double check it though. I'm gonna have to double check it.
Hey, it was real late last night. Nah, but the Jazz, man, I think the Jazz have a real team, man. I think, man, call me crazy, man, but I said this a few months ago. Donovan Mitchell. I say out of anybody that plays in the game right now, I say Donovan Mitchell reminds me, he's the closest thing to Michael Jordan that we have in this game. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but let me preface this by saying I'm talking about 84 through 89 MJ, young MJ. You feel me? He got that kind of game, man. And, MJ was losing big games. He wasn't making no noise. He wasn't able to get past the big dogs. And that's kind of been the situation that's been going on with Donovan Mitchell. Now, what I see this season with Donovan Mitchell is he's elevated the level of his team. That's what he hasn't really done yet. You're talking about 19. Yeah. I said it. 19-1 in the last 20 games. That's dominance. That's dominance, my friend. When somebody challenges you like Shaq, one of the OGs in the game, and you come in and you respond, you don't got nothing to say to him. Oh, yeah, you want to talk mess on the TV? Okay, I got nothing to say to you except with my game. Let the game do talking, young fella. Donovan Mitchell, he's like I said, he's a superstar. So I think the Jazz are the best team in the West. I think y'all sleeping, but they are the best team in the West. I don't think they are the best team in the league, but Hey,
Hey,
man.
man, you going? I think
Yeah,
you
you
went
went
off the deep
way
end.
too far.
Yeah, you went off the
Boy, he
deep end with the Michael
jumped
Jordan
off the
comparison,
porch.
bro. I was with you until then, bro.
Jumped off the porch.
I live on the deep end, man. I live on the deep end, man.
Well,
But
sometimes
yeah,
you drown, man. I feel what you're saying, though. I mean, I get what you're saying with the play style. Donovan Mitchell is an aggressive scoring type. You know, where I don't see Jordan, I think that the main difference between him and Jordan is just the ability to take over the pace of a game, the style of a game. Donovan Mitchell has an impact in the game with his scoring, but I don't know, man. That Jordan comparison, bro. Maybe
hey,
UNC
hey,
Jordan.
hey,
Maybe UNC
hey,
Jordan, bro. That's the most.
hey.
You and CJ. Yeah, I lost my train of thought with that one, bro. That was a
Jordan
wild
wasn't
take.
Jordan. Yo, Jordan wasn't Jordan until he was Jordan. And if you ain't follow that, then you need to slow it down. That's all I'm saying. He wasn't Jordan until he was Jordan.